Joined by our injury analyst, Marty Jaramillo, here on HQ. Marty, great to be with you. Let's talk about, first and foremost, the Patrick Mahomes injury. You heard from his head coach, Andy Reid, there. Give me the latest on what your understanding of his injury is.
Well, Chiefs fans everywhere, Tommy, they just held their breath as they saw Mahomes limping off the field. We couldn't even tell exactly what was injured. It almost appeared both his ankles were involved. But it is confirmed that it is a right high ankle sprain. Andy Reid is concerned, and rightly so. They have 3 games in 11 days, and the last 2 in shortened weeks. So let's break this down. Mahomes actually has a history of playing through this exact same injury. Back in 23 in the divisional playoffs, he sustained a high ankle sprain and played through it all the way through the Super Bowl, and even re-aggravated it during the big game, and they won it. Now, that history of rehabbing the same exact injury provides him the wisdom of what he can push through and what he cannot push through. Guaranteed he's going to have treatments at least twice a day to address the swelling that sets in. Just like Patrick said, Monday, Tuesday is when the swelling sets in, the pain, the inflammation, the loss of motion. So treatments twice a day to address all that, especially swelling. If you have swelling, that leads to instability, which leads to loss of power at push-off. Now, typically, we like a 3 to 4 week rest time for this, but we don't have the luxury with this schedule that they have. So I'm going to agree with what the betting lines have already priced in, that more than likely they'll rest them against Houston and look forward to meeting Santa and playing Pittsburgh and hopefully get a great Christmas gift that day.
We saw there, of course, a graphic of all the backup quarterbacks. Hadn't happened very often. It would have been Carson Wentz, who had a couple of snaps against Cleveland, against the Browns over the weekend. But again, we'll see how that works out with Kansas City. 2 games in about 10 days, Marty. So we also, speaking of the backup quarterbacks, saw Sam Howell III in prime time on Sunday Night Football. Geno Smith dealing with an injury against the Packers, a knee issue for Geno.
Well, optimistic is the word we are sending out to Seahawks fans. Coach McDonald is exactly what he echoed earlier today. So Geno's swelling, which can cause weakness and instability. So more imaging to come. We will update that as we have more. But once again, crazy schedules that are coming ahead. I do expect them to play aggressive treatments to address the swelling, maintain range of motion, maintain strength. But I think he dodged the bullet here.
Let's keep it with the quarterbacks. What about Jalen Hurts' finger?
Well, most of us saw the brace he was wearing as he came into the game versus the Steelers. He had a brace on his ring finger of his non-throwing hand. Now, even though it's his non-throwing, it is quite vulnerable. It was quite creative. They're actually keeping that brace in place, which is very vulnerable to shifting, by using a glove, cutting out the tip of the ring finger to kind of snug it out on top of that brace and keep it in place. But once again, adds more bulk and potential with gripping the football with any kind of stability.
Same game, other side. Marty, what's the take on TJ Watt?
Well, with TJ, sometimes these injuries, particularly to the ankle, can look gruesome. For this ankle, pain is the guide, swelling is the guide. I do expect him to play this weekend. He's such a warrior, probably will well taped on that left ankle, and I think we'll just do a day-to-day with him. But once again, dodge the bullet for the most feared edge rusher in the game.
Having another fantastic season, top 3 in sacks so far through 15 weeks of the NFL season. Let's end this segment with a couple of running backs. Unfortunately, we're talking about Nick Chubb once again. He was already dealing with all those knee issues coming into the season. Marty now dealing with a broken foot.
Well, Coach Stefanski said it perfectly. We all have had a front row seat to what Nick Chubb can do. His recovery from one of the most gruesome, most difficult, most severe knee injuries a person can have, he recovered from it twice. And we saw what the kind of inspiration he gives on and off the field. Now, he had a non-contact fracture of his left foot, the opposite foot of his rehab right knee. But we see this incredible comeback. He's already begun to lay that groundwork. But I'm telling you, he's been such an inspiration to his teammates, his family, his coaches, and yours truly.
Lastly, let's end with David Montgomery. Before I get your thoughts on the Detroit running back, Marty, we're going to hear from Dan Campbell, who announced an update to his star player earlier this afternoon.
He's going to require surgery that'll put him out for the rest of the year, and he had gotten it at some point yesterday in that game. I mean, David's so tough, man. He continued to play through, and then got it checked out today, and realized that's what it was. And I mean, he's just the ultimate teammate, ultimate competitor. We're going to miss him, man. He's another one of these guys that got us to this position, helped get us to where we're at. And man, the rest of us, we owe him to keep going and make sure that wasn't in vain. No different than Mac. Mac's out for the year. Same, he's got a knee injury. It's going to require surgery. Dorsey had his last night. CD's got a jaw. He'll be out. So, those guys helped us get to this point, so we owe it to them. They laid it on the line for us.
Marty, for David Montgomery, it's being described as an MCL injury. So take me through the recovery timetable for the Detroit running back.
Absolutely. Bad news coming out of the Detroit Lions. We only suspected an MCL tear, which is the medial collateral ligament, one of the 4 stabilizing ligaments of the knee on the inside part of the knee. Here's the issue. 95% of the time, they never require surgery. About 3 to 6 week recovery. But now Coach Campbell confirmed he will require surgery, which means imaging showed additional structures. MCL, possibly meniscus, and even possibly ACL. All that considered, fully expect them to be ready for training camp next year. But Coach Campbell says something very interesting that works on 2 sides of the equation. It's an opportunity for the younger players, next man up mentality, but also an opportunity for David himself. Get his body right, get his mind straight. 1 year, 8 to 12 months approximately, recovery and away from football to just get that body straight. It's a wonderful opportunity for any player with any kind of prolonged recovery. Sure, a bad blow, sure, bad luck, all of that. But once you have your plan in place and your team in place, it's smooth sailing. I expect a great comeback.
Exclusive Dallas Cowboys report. What's up, Cowboys Nation? The 2024 season has been anything but easy for us Dallas Cowboys fans. A year that began with so much hope and promise has turned into another huge disappointment, with the team missing the playoffs and leaving plenty of questions up in the air. And as you all know, when the Dallas Cowboys fall short of their goals, changes are bound to happen. Jerry Jones and the front office are already looking ahead to the future, and sources close to the team are pointing to a decision that could redefine the direction of the franchise for years to come. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to tell you might split opinions and tug at the hearts of Cowboys fans everywhere. We're talking about a potential blockbuster trade involving one of the biggest stars in the NFL, one that could bring major benefits to the team's rebuild. Here's the bombshell. The Steelers are reportedly offering TJ Watt a first-round pick and an additional second or third-round pick in exchange for Micah Parsons, and the Cowboys are interested. That's right, Cowboys fans. The trade would involve our defensive phenomenon, Micah Parsons, who is heading into the final stretch of his contract. For many, this deal might sound unthinkable, but the reasoning behind it is simple. After a disappointing season, Dallas is entering a rebuilding phase. Bringing in TJ Watt, one of the NFL's most experienced and respected pass rushers, along with 2 valuable draft picks, will allow the team to maintain a big name on defense while stacking assets for the future. There's no doubt Micah Parsons is a generational talent. But with his contract nearing its end, the Cowboys front office knows that re-signing him will come with a hefty price tag. Given the team's current situation, this trade could be the move Dallas needs to speed up its rebuild while staying competitive in the coming years. Now I want to hear from you, Cowboys fans. Do you agree with this potential trade? Is it worth giving up Micah Parsons to land TJ Watt and these valuable draft picks? Is this the right decision for the future of the Cowboys? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this news with your friends on social media, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything happening behind the scenes with the Dallas Cowboys. This is your go-to channel for breaking news, always delivered from fan to fan. The future might be changing in Dallas, and we'll be here to cover it all together. the Dallas Cowboys could be entering a new era. Let's go, Cowboys Nation!